Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Gaming with Blockchain. I'm your host, Yu, and today we'll be talking about Upland, what's been happening in the Upland space last few days, and overall, just talking about the gamers' experiences and what I've been hearing. And I'm just telling everybody, I know you've been tired of hearing this, but be patient. This is across the board. A lot of the glitches have been going on. Some experiencing that they can't load, they can't activate, and it's just a constant thing. I'll be in one of the other episodes, following episodes, you'll hear about my experience in one game profile, and it's a growing pain. It's unfortunate, but that's really all that it is. It's this new flood of players and just adapting to that influx, and it's going to take time. It's sorry to say, it's really going to take time, but if you enjoy the game, then you're going to enjoy the game, right? So we're looking at right now the map of California and Staten Island, back in New York. They've been open about maybe a week and a half, give or take 2 weeks overall, and they're over 50% sold. That's a starter city. Down here at the bottom here, if you're looking at the screen, you're looking at Bakersfield, which is due to open sometime soon. There could be another starter city, just because you know you think you open a big enough city to satisfy the demand, and before you know it, there's this. You're at 50%, 60%, 70% capacity of almost being sold out. So we're looking at Oakland here, and I could just zoom in any part of Oakland, and you'll definitely see that it's just gone for most areas, right? So this is what's going on. I tend to just look around. If I go back to Staten Island right now, I'm going to see. I remember, like I said, it's a starter city, so I'm not. It was difficult for me to go in and try to find any properties to buy at first mint, because it was a starter city. That means it was primarily about 75% of it was for FSAs, which means first Fair Starter Act, and okay, because of my net worth, because of the value and status I have as a player, I was not able to attain any of these properties for the most part, maybe 25%, and then the 25% out of all other players that have 100K value net worth or higher were not possible to attain any of these as well. So what left is that we had to go to a secondary market. Secondary market meaning that what was green here, or the choices I had to make some purchases, and that's what I did. I bought a few properties here on the secondary market, properties that I liked, and you scope around, you see who's hovering in the area, what are they probably looking for, and you can see there's a few more areas that are left to go through the second wave. Some of the markets is just as well. You have a buyer's market that's ready to go one place. The sellers are ready to move on, and there's others who are just holding, and they're just waiting until the opportunity is right. Maybe to build, maybe to collaborate on a neighborhood, because that's what's happening right now. Certain neighborhoods are being flourished. Is almost getting like a municipality or a mayor of some kind to establish at least some kind of structure of how they want their neighborhood to be to flourish, and that's what you expect to have. You expect to see that kind of growth and opportunity. So I've been scouting around. I've been waiting to see, okay, what can I find. I found a few that, okay, that's decent on the market itself. I had, when I went to another area in Brooklyn, I made a couple of offers, and I could say there were, yeah, 9%, 90% of them were rejected. And is that any different? I would do the same. I've been doing, as you have known, I've been rejecting a lot of offers myself, only because I'm just not ready to sell. So some people are not ready to sell. Some people have a markup that's just higher than I would accept, but then that's the market, right? So right now, that's what's going on in Staten Island. Bakersfield is scheduled to open at some later date. We have nothing official, obviously. But you can see that at any point in time when the market's open, it's just you know, back to the races. Everyone's jumping in and everyone's out to buy. So this, as a starter city, this is fantastic for new players. It gets them on board, helps them understand the mechanics. I've said this before, but it, it does restrict some gameplay for more seasoned players as they move along. However, with all that being said, doesn't mean that the game has been static and not having things happen. They announced that they've prepared for the Hyperloop, and I should do that in a new page, um, for between Chicago and Cleveland. So what would that mean in the gameplay moving forward? Is our chances now going through, instead of a bus or an airplane or a train, we're going to be able to test this new technology in in a virtual sense? That would be quite interesting, I would think. If you go to their website, they this is something they've been talking about. Elon Musk has been mentioning it. I've been reading about it. Other cities are challenging to try to bring that to fruition as well. So maybe these will be this company will be the first ones to make it happen. It's just, you know hard to say, hard to know. But you could look at their development. You can look at what they've been building. You can look through their uh, their own roadmap, if you want to call it that, and how is that going to impact travel? Like, what does this all mean moving forward for our 21st century and beyond, right? So it's quite informative, and the fact that Upland has now partnered with them and introducing this between two new cities, which are going to be two main cities. I think that it will be really, really a great accomplishment for the game as a whole, and even for players. What will be exciting now that you're riding this Hyperloop in theory and simulation, and you get to see it. So you have here's your Chicago, here's your Cleveland. I mean, of course, probably going maybe over the Great Lakes, maybe just around it. Who knows? But once these two cities open up again, that will be happening later in the year. You can have now at least right there, depending on the cities, there are now fully occupied compared to when these new cities are released. You have Oakland, you have San Francisco, you have Fresno, Cleveland, Bakersfield, Staten Island, Brooklyn, and Manhattan. So that's the current cities right in place, and then you'll have two more, which will be Chicago and Cleveland. That's nine cities. So I'm sure they probably want to hit and try to target city number 10 before the end of the year. Is that even possible? Round it up to a whole number. Ooh, that is. Am I pushing it? I don't know. But let me know what think about this. This is, I think, remarkable news. I think Upland is going to be pushing some boundaries in as they move forward. I think people are getting impatient, but it's not, at the same time, I think now with this little bit of insight, that kind of anxiety and everything else has probably settled a bit. And yes, eagerly waiting for the builds, eagerly waiting for the business sectors to open up. But I think at the same time, overall, for most point, being very, very satisfied where things are progressing. The launch of Staten Island was a lot smoother. I didn't participate with it, and things and the communication between the developers and the community has been improving. So there's a lot of things just unfolding after the stresses that happened. With Brooklyn. So it's coming. It's getting there. It's just not going to happen overnight. And you just have to say, okay, take a breather and let things unfold where they can. So I'll be excited. And again, if you're in the game and you're just starting out and you want to get some extra UpX dollars, let me know. I'm always looking for an FSA. We're always looking for someone to partner with and things like that. We're not huge. We're just developing. We're starting our own kind of thing, and we're trying to bring in the great allies across the board, including for women, the Black community, and people of color, and you guys, all the allies that are out there. So definitely stay tuned. can't wait to see what they bring on board in the next couple of days. And I'm have to do some shopping. I have to go back and look for some properties again. Okay, until then, take care.